Shalom, shalom, shalom. First foremost, we give all praise and honor and glory to Yahweh by Shemi Yahushua. Double honors to the elders, shalom to the Akim, pushing the truth in the four corners. In truth and sincerity, shalom to the Aqua out there, listen, learning, being true to Zion, shalom. So, I spoke of in one of my last videos how that our people in Islam, right? Our people in Islam heavy, right? And they believe in Allah. They believe that Muhammad was a prophet, which I proved in my last video that Deuteronomy 18 was not talking about Muhammad. So I just wanted to go, get some more precepts on Islam, right? Because our people, they believe that, they believe in a religion, right? And Islam is a religion. Us being Israelites is our nationality, right? We come from a man whose name was Israel. And the suffix "ite" at the end of a word means son of or descendant of, right? So us saying we're Israelites, meaning we're descendants of a man named Israel. That's a bloodline thing. It don't got nothing to do with religion, right? We have a heritage, we have customs, we have a God that we serve, but it's not a religion, as like in modern terms. And it's not all inclusive like Islam is now, right? Islam accept everybody. Anybody can be a Muslim now. Anybody can't be an Israelite. It has to be from your father's line, your father's lineage, right? So-called blacks, Latinos, Native Americans, and it's scattered abroad. Where we came, where we got taken from on the west coast of Africa. Our people who understand his word, right? That's worldwide, that we've been scattered to. It's not a religion, it's a bloodline. And Ishmael is not of our bloodline, right? And including the God that he follows is not our God, right? So go back to Deuteronomy 28 and 64 again. It says, "And the Lord shall scatter thee among all people from one end of the earth even unto the other, and there thou shalt serve other gods, which neither thou nor thy father have known, even wood and stone." So the wood is the cross, right? And the stone is the Kaaba stone, right? They actually have a stone that they worship, that they walk around 7 times, right? That they kiss, right? These people worship an idol, right? And before Muhammad even came, the Arab man worshiped 365 gods, right? So Muhammad might be their prophet to them, but he's no prophet to us, right? Well, actually, Muhammad learned about one God from the Jews, right? He learned from the Jews, the real Jews, not the so-called Caucasian man. I'm talking about the real Jews, right? Judah, Benjamin, and Levi. Now let's go to Habakkuk 2, verse 18. It says, "What profiteth the graven image, that the maker thereof hath graven it, the molten image, and the teacher of lies, and the maker of his work trusts therein to make dumb idols." So it says this is a graven image, and it's about to describe what the graven images is speaking of, and the dumb idols that it's speaking of, right? Verse 19, "Say, woe unto him that saith to the wood, awake, to the dumb stone, arise, it shall teach. Behold, it is layered over with gold and silver, and there is no breath at all in the midst of it. So the cobblestone, what does it have? It has gold and silver, right? It's black, but when you go down, let me get a picture of it. It's a lot. It's a lot. Come. So when you fall back, it's black with gold. And once you get up to the area that they, I believe that's the area that they kiss, I believe, it's silver. Right? So we just read in Habakkuk. All right, read it again. Habakkuk 2:19 says, "Woe to him that saith to the wood, awake, to the dumb stone, called it a dumb stone, arise, it shall teach. Behold, it is layered over with gold and silver, and there is no breath at all in the midst of it." So the Lord is saying this is just an idol, right? This is a thing made by man's hands because it has no breath in it. It doesn't breathe. If you strike it down, or if you hit it, it's not going to hit you back. A God, a true God, it you can actually feel his power, right? By what? His judgment, by his wrath. These things are just idle. These things are just man-made. It can do nothing, right? But it's like verse 20, "But the Lord is in his holy temple. Let all the earth keep silence before him." So that's the true God, not no cobblestone, right? And it just described it having gold and silver, being covered, layered with gold and silver, right? So that's an idol, man. So let's go to Genesis, back to the forefather of the Islam, right? Which is Ishmael. I'm gonna read this Genesis 16. I'm gonna start at 1. It says, "Now Sarah, Abraham's wife, bare no children, and she had a handmaid, an Egyptian, whose name was Hagar. And Sarah said unto Abraham," well, Abram, it was his name changed to Abraham later, but it's Abram right here. "Sarah said unto Abram, Behold, now the Lord Yahweh have restrained me from bearing. I pray thee, go in unto my maid. It may be that I may obtain children by her." And Abram hearkened to the voice of Sarah. Right, so Sarah couldn't have babies. So the Lord, well, so she told Abram to have sex with her handmaid Hagar, so that she may have children through her. Right? And Sarah, Abram's wife, took Hagar, her maid, the Egyptian, after Abram had dwelt 10 years in the land of Canaan, and gave her to her husband Abram to be his wife. Right? That's 2 wives right there. Right? Now they like to say, you can't have more than one wife. Literally, his wife gave him her handmaid. Okay, that's not the point I wanted, but yeah. And he went in unto Hagar, and she conceived. And when she saw that she had conceived, her mistress was despised in her eyes. And Sarah said to Abram, My wrong be upon thee. I have given my maid into thy bosom. And when she saw that she had conceived, I was despised in her eyes. The Lord Yahweh judged between me and thee. And Abram said to Sarah, Behold, thy maid is in thine hand. Do to her as it pleaseth thee. And when Sarah dealt hardly with her, she fled from her face. Right, so she started whooping Hagar ass. right? And the angel of the Lord Yahweh found her by the fountain of water in the wilderness, by the fountain in the way of Shur, and said, Hagar, Sarah's maid, whence comest thou? And wilt thou goest? And she said, I flee from the face of my mistress Sarah. And the angel of the Lord said unto her, Return to thy mistress, and submit thyself under her hands. And the angel of the Lord said unto her, I will multiply thy seed exceedingly, that it shall not be numbered for multitude. And the angel of the Lord said unto her, Behold, thou with child, thou shalt bear a son, thou shalt call his name Ishmael, because the Lord Yahweh hath heard thy affliction. And he will be a wild man, his hands will be against every man, and every man's hands against him, and he shall dwell in the presence of all his brethren. So that shows you that it says Esau will be a wild man, right? His hands will be against everybody. Who's the main motherfuckers who strap bombs to themselves and scream Allahu Akbar and blow themselves up? That's a wild man, right? And she called the name of the Lord and spake unto her, Thou God seest me. For she said, Have I also here looked after him that seeth me? Right? So Ishmael was blessed too, right? Ishmael had blessings, right? But he just was not the chosen. Let's go to Genesis 17. Genesis 17 and 15. And God said unto Abraham, As for Sarah thy wife, thou shalt not call her name Sarai, well, I guess it was Sarai, but Sarah shall be her name. And I will bless her and give thee a son also of her. Yea, I will bless her, and she shall be the mother of nations. Kings of people shall be of her. Salah. And Abraham fell to his face and laughed, and said in his heart, Shall a child be born to him that is 100 years old? And shall Sarah, being 99 years old, bear? And Abraham said unto God, O that Ishmael might live before thee. And God said, Sarah thy wife shall bear thee a son indeed, and thou shalt call his name Isaac. And I will establish my covenant with him for an everlasting covenant, and with his seed after him. Right? So that was the Most High giving the covenant to Isaac, not Ishmael. Right? But he blessed Ishmael, but he established his covenant with Isaac. Right? Verse 20. And as for Ishmael, I have heard thee. Behold, I have blessed him, and will make him fruitful, and will multiply him exceedingly. 12 princes shall he begot, and I will make him a great nation. But my covenant will I establish with Isaac, which Sarah shall bear thee at the set time in the next year. So his covenant went to Isaac, right? That was who the Lord chose, not Ishmael. Even though Ishmael was blessed, the Lord blessed Ishmael, right? He didn't choose Ishmael, right? He chose Isaac. And who did that go to? Right? This is Psalms 105 and verse 8. It says, He have remembered his covenant forever, the words which he commanded 1,000 generations, which covenant he made with Abraham, and his oath unto Isaac, and confirmed the same unto Jacob for a law, and to Israel for an everlasting covenant. So it went from Abraham to Isaac to Jacob, whose Jacob's name was turned to Israel once he wrestled the angel. And he got blessed with that name, Yasha'Allah, which means he is a prince of the power. Right? That's what Israel means in the Hebrew, ancient Paleo Hebrew. He is a prince of the God. Right? So that's who the covenant went to, not Ishmael. Right? Let's see. All All right, now let's go to Galatians 4 and 22. It says, "For it is written that Abraham had two sons, the one by a bondmaid and the other by a free woman." Who was the bond? The bondmaid was Hagar. The free woman was Sarah. It's like, but he who was of the bondwoman was born after the flesh, but he of the free woman was by promise. So Ishmael was born of the bondwoman, which was after the flesh, but he of the free woman, Isaac, was by promise. Which things are allegory? For these are the two covenants, the one of Mount Sinai, which gendereth to bondage, which is Hagar. For this Hagar is Mount Sinai in Arabia, and answer to Jerusalem, which now is, and is in bondage with her children. Right? But back to verse 23, it says, "He who was of the bondwoman was born after the flesh, and he of the free woman was born by promise." So Isaac was of the promise, right? Ishmael was born after the flesh. Let's go to Romans chapter 9 and verse 7. It says, "Neither because they are the seed of Abraham are they all children, but in Isaac shall thy seed be called." Because Abraham had multiple sons. He didn't just have Ishmael and Isaac. He had sons by Keturah. He had, let's go to Genesis 25. Right? That's why I said neither are they, because they are the seed of Abraham are they all children. Because Abraham had many sons. But what? Isaac was chosen. It's Genesis 25, and I'm going to start at 1. "Then again Abraham took a wife, and her name was Keturah, and she bare him Zimran, and Jokshan, and Medan, and Midian, and Ishbak, and Shua." Right, so he had, what was that, 5? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 sons. 6 other sons outside of Ishmael and Isaac. Right? That's why I say here in Romans 9 and 7, "Neither because they are the seed of Abraham are they all children, but in Isaac shall thy seed be called." That is, they which are the children of the flesh, these are not the children of God. And we just read in Galatians, who was the children of the flesh, right? Back to Galatians 4 and 23. But he who was of the bondwoman was born after the flesh, right? So it's talking about Isaac, well, Ishmael, right? That is, they which are the children of the flesh, Ishmaelites, these are not the children of God, but the children of the promise are counted for the seed. Back to Galatians 4, 23 again. "But he who was of the bondwoman was born after the flesh, but he of the free woman was by promise," which was Isaac. All right. So Isaac is the chosen. Ishmael is not, right? Ishmael is not the chosen. So who was chosen to worship the Most High? The descendants of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. That's who the covenant went to. Right? That's a lot. Slide. Now let's go back to Galatians 4. And I'm going to jump down to verse 8. It says, "Now we brethren, as Isaac was, are the children of promise. But as then he that was born after the flesh, Ishmael, persecuted him that was born after the spirit. Even so it is now." So they persecute us. And what did you have? The Arab slave trade, the sub-Saharan slave trade, where these Ishmaelites castrated us. It was damn near worse than the Edomite slave trade. Right? That's what's not talked about. A lot of our people got into Islam through the Arab slave trade, the sub-Saharan slave trade also, right? These Ishmaelites went around conquering and enforcing people to believe in Islam, right? And they did with a lot of our people too. It's like verse 30 again. No, verse 29 says, but as then he that was born after the flesh persecuted him that was born after the spirit, even so it is now. Nevertheless, what saith the scripture? Cast out the bondwoman and her son, for the son of the bondwoman shall not be heir with the son of the free woman. So then, brethren, we are not children of the bondwoman, but of the free. So we are saying we the children of the promise, not children of the bondwoman. They were cast out, man. Right? Oh, it's a lot. Let's go to see where they would cast. It's a lot. It's a lot. But it came from Genesis. Read it again. It's Galatians 4. This is the New Testament, by the way. It says, so then, no, verse 30, 4 and 30. Nevertheless, what the scripture saith, cast out the bondwoman and her son, for the son of the bondwoman shall not be heir with the son of the free woman. So then, brethren, we are not children of the bondwoman, but of the free. And that's where our people are. Our people who are in Islam, you're not children of the bondwoman. You're children of the free woman. You're children of the promise. You're children of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. Right? The people whose God you worship are children of the bondwoman. Right? They're not the children of the promise. So you are not to worship their gods. Right, because all the gods of the nations are idols, right? And that's why they walk around the cobblestone 7 times, or however many times they do it, and kiss it, and bow before it, because it's an idol, right? It has no life in it. And this is Sirach 44 and 22. It says, with Isaac did he establish likewise for Abraham his father's sake the blessing of all men and the covenant, and made it rest upon the head of Jacob, for he acknowledged him in his blessing, and gave him a heritage, and divided his portions among the 12 tribes did he part them. Right? So it's just basically tell you the covenant with Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob again, man. It's not with Ishmael. Ishmael was cast off. Him and his mother was cast off. They're not heirs with the children of the promise. Right? They're children of the bondwoman. Right? And there's some they have some verses in the Quran that even tells you that the children of Israel are the chosen people. Right? In the Quran. This is Surah 2 and 40. It says, O children of Israel, remember my favor which I have bestowed upon you, and fulfill my covenant upon you, that I will fulfill your covenant from me and fear me, only me. Right? The Quran is even talking about the children of Israel having favor. Right? Being chosen. Right? Every time we read going to the Quran verses, they don't want to hear. This is your book. This is not our book. You can go into your book and let you know the Israelites are chosen people. Right? Hold up, Salah. It's a verse in the Quran that tells you basically follow the Bible, right? I can't find it right now, but the brother, he got a Quran and he got all the pages and stuff marked up. So, Lord willing, get with him and finish, add a little more to the video, right? To let you know, even the Quran tells you to follow the Bible. What does the Bible say about Ishmael, right? For one, he's not a prophet. Let's go back into Amos 2 and 10, starting at 10. Also, I brought you up from the land of Egypt and led you forth 40 years through the wilderness to possess the land of the Amorites. And I raised up your sons for prophets and your young men for Nazarites. Is it not even thus, O ye children of Israel, saith the Lord? So the children of Israel are the prophets, right? No Ishmaelite was given prophethood, right? No Ishmaelites. That wasn't a blessing given to them, right? This Acts 2 and 23, it says, "And it shall come to pass that every soul which shall not hear that prophet shall be destroyed from among the people." That's talking about Yahweh. It says, "Yeah, and all the prophets from Samuel and all those that follow after, as many have likewise spoken." So like, as many have spoken have likewise foretold of these days, right? So from Samuel all the way to Malachi, right? Those are prophets. Samuel, right? Isaiah, Jeremiah, Ezekiel, Daniel, Hosea, Amos, Joel, right? Malachi, Micah, Obadiah, right? All these different prophets in the Old Testament. Nahum, right? All of those were prophets. Jonah, all of them were prophets. Right? Acts 2 and 3 and 25, it says, "Ye are the children of the prophets, and of the covenant which God made with our fathers, saying unto Abraham, and in thy seed shall all the kindreds of the earth be blessed." Right? It says, "Ye are the children of the prophets." We are the children of the prophets. From Samuel and all the prophets, that we are the children of the prophets. Right? Not Ishmaelites. There's no Ishmaelites in the Bible with that's claimed or deemed prophets. So how all of a sudden is Muhammad a prophet, where all the prophets in the Bible is all Israelites? Right? It don't make sense. Right? And that's another way for them going back to them persecuting those that are born after the Spirit. Right? Because you lying and saying that somebody of your nation is a prophet when they wasn't given the line of prophethood. Right? So not only are they not the chosen, but they liars also. Right? So why would you believe a liar? Right? None of the Ishmaelites went through any of these curses in Deuteronomy 28:54. The Ishmaelites are set up with businesses in our neighborhoods. Right? Liquor stores, gas stations. They blessed. They not going through the curses. Right? When ICE was going around locking niggas and niggas and spics up, who was it? Ishmaelites getting locked up too? Was it Arab people getting locked up? When they go to UN meetings, where all these different people meet together, and we not involved in it, isn't it Arabs there? Right? So they are blessed. But they not going through the curses like our people going through. They not Israelites. They not the children of the promise. Right? They're children of the bondwoman, which are children of the flesh. Right? So What else? I have anything else? So with that, give all praise and honor and glory to Yahweh Bashem Yahushua. Shalom.